Welcome back. You're watching live from Paris on France 24. It's time now for Media Watch France, when we dissect what's been going on in the French press and on the webs as well. Good evening to you, James Creedon.
Good evening indeed.
The expert.
Butcher's knife out for the dissection.
Absolutely. Let's have a look. Now, Nicolas Sarkozy gave a huge rally yesterday, didn't he? The biggest one yet, I believe.
That's right.
And you've noticed something of a theme developing. He gives these big grand speeches, but at the end he tries to involve the audience, almost like an interactive theme.
That's right. Now, what's kind of unusual is he's constructing this image of a strong, protective president, yet he's asking for help. So at the end of every big political rally that he's been giving since February, this has happened 6-7 times, he asks the French people to help him, aidez-moi. So let's take a look at how that has played out over the last month to 6 weeks.
Je vous demande une chose ce soir, ici à Marseille, aidez-moi. 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 Aidez-moi à construire cette France forte. Aidez-moi. Aidez-moi. Aidez-moi à rendre la France plus forte. Françaises, Français, peuple de France, aidez-moi. Aidez-moi. Aidez-moi.
He definitely wants some help there, doesn't he?
He does. He's looking for some help. 2 months to go. Help me, French people. So that last clip was in Villepinte last night. And many are saying, where did he get his inspiration for this? Because, of course, political operators are always studying past luminaries and kind of trying to get ideas for how they can approach their campaign. Now, Charles de Gaulle, on 2 different occasions, in 1958, when he was kind of penning the Constitution of the Fifth Republic, and again during the Algerian War of Independence, when there was a possible coup d'etat, asked the French people to help him. Let's take a look at one of those moments. This was in 1961.
Françaises, Français, voyez où risque d'aller la France par rapport à ce qu'elle était en train de redevenir. Françaises, Français, aidez-moi.
Oh, cheeky.
Very dramatic.
That's
now,
where he got it from.
Sarkozy's reined it in a bit because there wasn't this, aidez-moi kind of dramatic.
He did use it a good few times,
He did.
didn't he?
He did.
I think
indeed.
he's used it in
now,
every single appearance.
The thing is, a lot of this could be just, speculation. We don't really know. It could just as easily have been the Beatles with their 1961 classic, Help, I Need Somebody. So who knows? I mean, I think we even have a clip of that piece. And that was actually 4 years after Charles de Gaulle made his speech in 1961. So maybe even
Maybe the Beatles were inspired by de Gaulle. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Maybe even so let's take a look at the Beatles' Help, I Need Somebody.
I need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need someone help.
There you go. Maybe it was that. Who knows who was inspired by who? Maybe they were all inspired by each other.
John Lennon will be turning in his grave.
There you go.
All right, and also the New York Times has got in on the act as well.
Right, well, you see, they're saying that perhaps he was inspired by Nixon in 1969 because Nicolas Sarkozy has been saying that the silent majority will vote for him, and Nixon spoke about a silent majority. You know what? I just think, really, they need to calm down with these comparisons because there's probably a limited number of political approaches you can take, so there was probably no inspiration at all, really.
But the election's still a long way away. We have to find things to talk about, don't we, James?
It's 2 months to go. 2 months to go.
Now, I said it was a very big rally, and it did look absolutely huge. But there is some disagreement over the numbers, isn't there? As
well,
always
this is always the case in France. Every time there's a demonstration or a strike, you've got the police saying, oh, there were 3 people on the street, and then you've got the trade union saying there were 3 million people on the street, and they can never really agree on the figures. And it's the same now for this political rally, where Socialist Party observers are saying, oh, there were about 20,000 people there, and one Facebook UMP party supporter says there were 92,000 people in the room.
That's a bit more
but the limit of the amount of people who can get into that venue is about 37,000. So, they're all trying to exaggerate the number of people who turned up for this big political rally.
Okay, now this is likely to be less pleasing to Nicolas Sarkozy. We've had controversies before over who funded his presidential campaign back in 2007, but this has to be the most controversial figure of all.
Yes.
The late leader of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, who, of course, France just helped to oust.
That's right. So this, look, this is really not a headline that he wants to be seeing. Did Gaddafi finance Sarkozy's 2007 campaign? Now, Mediapart, which is a sort of a left-leaning website, they got their hands on a document where the personal doctor of a guy called Ziad Taqiyuddin. He's a shadowy figure who's a middleman in arms deals, etc. He opposed.
Who, actually, can I just interrupt, is on the France 24 interview later tonight.
That's
so
right. We got a nice little interview with Ziad Taqiyuddin.
Paris time.
There you go. Worth checking out. Now, he allegedly visited Libya 11 times in 2005 in the run-up to Nicolas Sarkozy's election, and according to Mediapart's reading of things, allegedly some 50 million euros may have come from Tripoli into Nicolas Sarkozy's campaign.
Envelopes.
That's right. So look, he doesn't want to see that headline. And I'll show you another headline he probably doesn't want to see in The Guardian today.
When you say help, he wasn't asking Gaddafi.
he wasn't singing that to Gaddafi. He won hopes. Louis Sarkozy accused of throwing marbles at a police officer. That's
he's the young one that was given a plum job at the business district.
No, this is the 14-year-old.
Even younger. That would have been
another bad headline. Now I want to get to something, Laura, before we go.
Do we have any more details on the
Well, this was in the Élysée Palace in the courtyard. Apparently he started throwing marbles at a police officer and a tomato, and she made a complaint. In any case, Sarkozy apologised, and the whole thing was kind of swept under the carpet. Now I want to get to Rick Santorum,
very quickly, yeah.
Let's take a listen to what he said.
Yeah.
This is very recently about teleprompters.
See, I always believe that when you run for president of the United States, it should be illegal to read off a teleprompter. Because all you're doing is reading somebody else's words.
So, yes, what will happen to news anchors everywhere without teleprompters, and what will happen to President Obama for his big Obamacare speeches. So, yes, he's saying teleprompters should be made illegal.
We couldn't possibly string a sentence together without our autocue, could we?
There you go. We'll be totally, dumbstruck.
Dumbstruck, absolutely. All right, thanks very much indeed, James Freedon there with Media Watch. Now it's time for our daily dose of web news. Tonight we're hearing from an American blogger who says he's managed to expose major flaws in airport security. Take a look.